What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Social media world. Welcome to Always at Odds. You're listening to Roman C, the one and only, and the other dude, Carlton Prophet. What's up, man?
You just horrible, though. I mean, some people just not good. So I mean, I'm gonna chop it up to you. That's not being good. What's happening with your world? What's happening with your Always at Odds fans and this not? It's your
You act
boy
like I
Paul
said
Prophet.
something wrong. You act
No,
like I
no,
said
no, no.
something wrong.
My mother told me a long time ago. Sometimes you just don't listen to a fool when they speak. So I need to
Mm.
remember to listen to that. That's all.
The
You know,
philosopher.
yeah.
The fool when
So
they speak. So when have you ever listened to your mother, bro? I guess that's what
all
I'm
the time.
curious.
She told me don't play with them Crispin boys.
No, no.
She don't say
She
truth.
calls you what?
She said don't play with them Crispin boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. Well,
You don't go beneath that. You know what I'm saying? But I already told everybody how your mom paid me to be your friend, and we had a deal. So
man,
hey,
whatever, bro.
you know,
Whatever. So how's AZ? Everybody, for those who don't know, Carlton's doing on another business trip in AZ. What you got popping down there, bro?
it was cool. Out here just enjoying the sun.
I can
I heard it
see.
rained up there today.
Yeah, I see that. You got a beautiful sun now, scenery back there.
Yeah, well, Arizona is one of the most sunniest states in the union. I think we average 300 sunny days a year. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, you will always see the sun most times, what I'm saying? It does rain, but we get like 7 inches a year. It's not a lot.
How about to say they're more like drizzles per day, right? You don't really get no like here. It's been raining all day in the east, well, at least in Maryland, DC area,
But
and all day. So does it when it does rain in AZ, does it rain all day like it can do here?
it can do, that's rare, but it can do it. This it can, but that's during the winter months, it'll rain. Sometimes you get some summer. We'll do an hour rain or something like that. It
Hour
can
rain.
Yeah, I mean, our rain can soak you though. You know what I'm saying? We got these things called habus. I can't
Hahu?
spell a habu.
Habu. Okay.
Yeah,
God bless you.
it's a weather phenomenon that happens and it comes in fast, like a fast thunderstorm, high winds, the temperature drop 20, 30 degrees, and that will create this rain that just comes down and it's just you can't even see in front of your face. That's how fierce the rain be coming. It doesn't happen only in the summertime, but it doesn't happen that often. But it's a nice little cool thing because when after it rains, it's cool outside. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, okay. Now, do you guys get those desert with the storms like the the sand? I mean, I know in like the Middle East, I've
yeah,
heard about.
yeah,
Go ahead.
we get them. It's just like a tornado, but it doesn't have the kick of power of a tornado because you're missing certain elements out of that. Mainly the now we got me on some weather stuff. So we don't have the change in temperature, which is key to a tornado. I'm not an expert on tornadoes, so I don't even want to tell you what we don't have. But it looks like it's big. It's a big dust dust storm, and it can
Yeah,
be like a mile high. You know what I'm saying? And they'll
yeah.
blanket the whole area. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have that pack power that a tornado has that will knock stuff over. You know what I'm saying?
Well, bro. Sorry to bring up topic and subjects that you clearly are not a subject matter expert. There's very few actually that you are a subject matter expert in. So my
Oh,
bad for
Roman.
putting you out there like that.
Oh, Roman. What's going on though? Let's get at it though. You know what I'm saying? It's not about Arizona today. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into. I know we got some topics that we ready to jump into because I know.
Yeah. Let's first talk about some of the crap, some of the stuff that's going on in the NBA right now. Have you been? I know you're not a sports guy by any stretch of the imagination, but
You
you've been
say
seeing
NBA or
some of these.
NFL? I've been watching the free agent moves. I'm a football fan.
Okay, you're a fan. Okay, that's about it. But let's talk about basketball though. Have you been watching some of the unbelievable performances the last couple of weeks?
Kyrie is my man. I don't care
Yeah,
if he never gets his hit. Kyrie is my man. But he been my man
60-point
since
game, huh?
he been my man since since he came to the league really out of Duke. So I'm glad he's doing whatever he got to do, and he can show that it's not the NBA without Kyrie. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Top 5 player. You know what I'm saying?
Top
Team
five?
top 5.
Really?
top 5. You got somebody better? Name 4 better.
Giannis, KD, Embiid, the Joker.
Joker, I take Joker. Joker in my top 10. He's not. I don't think he's top 5.
Man,
Joker. I understand he's the MVP, reigning MVP, and all like that. Hey, by the way, if y'all want to call up and get in this contest, you're more than welcome. Hit up the number on the bottom of the screen.
Dude, you are out your mind if you're saying the Joker isn't top 5.
What I'm saying, Roman, is
I'll take Steph Curry over Kyrie.
I like Steph too.
Okay.
But I think
that's 5 right there, Playboy.
I think Kyrie's in the same conversation. That's because you name 5 people that's currently in the NBA doesn't mean you're correct.
No, I am. Again, you don't know much about sports, but listen. At the end of the day, Kyrie is a monster. The thing about Kyrie because I'm with you on Kyrie, but the thing that sometimes frustrates me about him is some of his actions that can disrupt the team chemistry. And I'm not necessarily talking about the COVID, his COVID stance where he doesn't want to take the shot. That's his prerogative. It's his choice. And I'm kind of rooting for him that he hopefully beats the system as a result of that. Yeah. But it's just some of the other stuff, man. This dude, he's got such unbelievable. He just doesn't love the game to me, bro. Because if he loved the game, this dude, he could probably have more than one championship under his belt.
He definitely could. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about that championship. He did hit the game winner shot in that game.
No, he did. You can't take away from him now. At the end of the day, his basketball skills, you can't do. There's no argument about his basketball skills. My argument with you is if he's top 5. That I'm not giving you.
I agree with you. Did you not just say I agree with you?
I'm sorry?
Didn't you just say I agree with you?
No, not that he's top 5. I agree with you that he's a monster. He's not top 5. Yeah. Okay. So let's kill that noise right now.
What we got on today in history? We got anything today in history, bro?
Dude, it's so easy to get under your skin, bro. You know that? Ever since I met you in 7th grade.
Why go on with the conversation when you're wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, please. You know it's rare I'm wrong. I think the last time I was wrong was 1972, bro. But anyway, let's move on, bro. All right. So today is March 17, 2022. There have been quite a few to pick from when I was trying to figure out some of the major events that happened on March 17th in our history.
But I know you're not gonna forget the elephant in the room. What's this day known for, though?
Dude, yeah, you're right. I won't forget. So let's pause that for a second here. And let's talk about. Let me go in the order I want to go under. Right. So, in this day, 1992, apartheid ended in South Africa. You remember that? Remember when it ended?
I do.
Yeah, you remember So the crazy thing is, when I think about this, for it to have ended, it took over 68% of white South African citizens to vote for an abolishment of racial segregation in the country.
I didn't know that.
Over 68% voted. They had to vote to end that crap.
It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
An African nation where the soil and the history of it was dominated by Africans.
I think they called them.
What did you call them? I'm sorry.
Afrikaans.
Yes, there you go. And somehow lost their power there. I didn't get the information in regards to how long white South Africans came to power, but dude, it took over 68% to vote. So interesting fact there, right?
Fact, true.
Yeah, just like you don't know about sports, I'm sure you're not familiar with the soulful song, the soulful singer Nat King Cole. Remember Nat King Cole?
I would tell you that Nat King Cole lived 6 doors 6 doors up from where my grandmother presently lives today, or my grandmother's house is present there today.
Really?
Not only was that before I was born, but Natalie Cole, his daughter, also a singer, used to play with my mom when they were little girls.
Wow. Really?
Because
I didn't know that. I gotta
I
ask
know
Barbara
I
about
know
that.
you didn't.
I gotta ask Barbara about that.
Right, Nat King Cole's a DC guy. You know.
Yeah, yeah. That's the other thing I was gonna share. Now he was born in 1919 in this day.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I think
the Red Summer. That's
was
the year.
that
That's the year of the Red Summer.
the year of the Red Summer. Well, let me
Right.
find out you know your history.
Come on, boy.
Yeah. So I know we have a pretty diverse listening group here, but man, for those who who don't listen to Nat King Cole music, man, you just don't know what you're missing.
Right. Christmas time you always hear Nat King Cole. So his his song at Christmas is it's not Christmas unless I hear Nat King Cole.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of my favorite Christmas songs ever.
Yeah.
And then the last thing for me in this day in history, you alluded to it early on. The big elephant in the room, so today, for a sports fan, it's March Madness, the start of March Madness, right? Is that you clapping?
Yes, indeed. I'm a big March Madness fan. It's probably one of my best sporting events I like to watch. I've also been to a couple of March Madness games when I used to go to school in New Orleans. I actually did one in Phoenix as well. So yeah. I'm a huge March Madness fan.
Yeah, I've been to a couple when they were playing in I guess what used to be called the Verizon Center. That's now the Capital One Arena. But yeah, so I've been to a few of those games. But yeah, so March Madness starts right for us basketball fans today. And ironically enough, it's also the celebration for St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day. Now, St. Patrick, it was a Christian missionary, also a bishop, an apostle of Ireland. He died actually in 461.
AD or BC?
This is AD.
Okay.
461. And yeah, so he apparently his story, the thing is, it's funny reading about him because the thing I always referred to him as drinking, right? Beer, but he was enslaved when he was 16 years old. Yeah, then he ultimately escaped and basically went to Ireland and ultimately helped with organizing the Irish people and preventing slavery, at least of their country, citizens in their country, and that's how it all came to be. Huh?
I did know that. I had a friend of mine. I can't remember who was Irish or half Irish, and he used to talk about the history of the Ireland people and the fight that they had. And they said it was kind of similar to what we went through as African Americans. I don't know that because I never really researched it, but I know according to him, that was he said it was a comparison. I don't know how true that is. I might probably look some information up on that later on, so we might talk about that.
No, and it's true that they've been enslaved, just like African Americans. But at the end of the day, whenever people try to compare tragedies that other groups went through to Black Americans, dude, you can easily change your name. You can easily lie about where you're from if you're being discriminated against. But as long as your skin color is white, the first thing people are going to do is give you benefit of the doubt and want to discriminate against you. As Black people, we couldn't hide from our skin color.
In college, shout out to those my friends in New Orleans who watch me. Dillard University in the house always. I took a class in Dillard, and they was talking about you're being judged as soon as you walk in the room. Let's say you have an appointment at 10 o'clock, but you show up a half hour early at 10 o'clock. Your appointment is starting at 9:59 when you pull up in that parking lot, and it's already at a negative. Why is it at a negative? Because your skin color. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I was like, wow. They said they haven't even heard you talk, but they looking at you, and you got every stereotype that they ever seen of any Black person before you say, hi, my name is. You know what I'm saying? Which is wow, because I know white people Caucasians don't really go through that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of sentence, hidden thing that people don't even realize that type of stuff. I think I myself have become immune to it. You know what I'm saying? I know we get racist. I had somebody today follow me around the store. I mean, I ain't say nothing about it. This and that. That was obvious that, I don't know if I'm more keen to the fact of knowing when somebody's following me, but it was obvious the guy was following me around. I was in a little mall area today. And this the stuff that happens, we just look at it like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? He tried to play it off like he was looking at a shirt or something in the area. You know what I'm saying?
See, I would have addressed it.
What would you have said?
I would have asked him, why are you following me?
And what did you
just start the conversation? Excuse me?
I mean, also, well, he's not going to tell you the truth. He's going to stay undercover.
But I would have gotten satisfaction to making him feel uncomfortable because at the end of the day, I would have expressed that he's making me feel uncomfortable, that he's eyeballing me my every movement. So part of it really was just to let him know that I know what he's doing. Not that it would really change a whole lot, like you said, but at the end of the day, now, shit, put them in an uncomfortable position and having to answer for their actions. Why you got that dumb look in your face? I guess, Carlton, you frozen or something? Hey, Mr. Producer, Carlton's frozen. I don't know if it's anything on our end or, as usual, his technology is unworthy. See. Well, anyway, so I guess I'll hold it down for a little while until we can get Carlton back. So today is St. Patrick's Day. Again, the synopsis with beer drinking. But for me, as a basketball fan, I'm more excited about March Madness starting, and that's what I've always looked forward to whenever I hear the unofficial holiday of St. Patrick's Day starting. So anyway, the next topic that I really wanted to get into, and Carlton's not here, but the last few shows that we've done, I think I've kind of made my position pretty clear with regards to my feelings on the whole Russia and Ukraine thing. I get it. It's sad to look at any country being attacked and overtaken, and innocent citizens are being killed, and being mistreated, etc. And so, yes, from that aspect of it, I do feel sympathy for the citizens of Ukraine. But where I've expressed frustration with all of this has always been where the United States seems to always pick and choose who they're going to support, and to what degree they're going to support in similar situations. We know Syria in 2015 was also into war. It really more or less it was civil war within their country, and their leadership reached out to Russia President Vladimir Putin to help, because they had several groups within their country who was trying to overtake their government. They didn't like how the leaders were running the country. And
I'm
so
back.
they were.
I'm back.
Dude, bruh.
I apologize, y'all. I apologize. I've never had that happen. I'm on my iPad, and the heat said temperature was too hot. I guess it was beaming.
Yeah,
it just cut off for me. I really apologize.
Well, part of your problem is that is the Apple product, but we had that conversation the other day. But
whatever.
We won't get into that again. But
right. Yeah. I'm sorry, Facebook and Instagram and people that was watching. I was gonna shout some people out, but now that I have to use my phone, I can't shout that access out to you. So
yeah. So anyway, as you were going, I was sharing with our listeners my frustration throughout the last few shows we did. I kept bringing in the whole Russia-Ukraine thing,
mm-hmm.
and I'm so frustrated with the hypocrisy with the United States and how it decides who it wants to be, a police for, and then decline support in other countries that for people who look like you and I, who are either black skinned or brown skinned, right?
I'm gonna do something odd on this one. Something odd.
Yeah, man. You are.
Um, because people who watch the show and watch it, frequent visitors, they know that me and you all rarely seldom agree on anything. However, on this subject, I am in agreement with you 100%. I think it's a little over top. However, but because the show is always at odds, I'm gonna come and take the other side on that, because I want what other countries that needed help that didn't get the help. You know what I'm saying?
So let me finish my point, and
Okay.
then but so at the end of the day, right? It's not just America, it's or the government. It's the whole media, bruh. Back in 2015, as I was sharing with the audience, a bunch of groups in Syria was trying to overtake the government. The Syrian president reached out to Vladimir Putin, Russia's president, for support and assistance. They came in like wild banshees, just making every attempt to kill these groups. In the meantime, they were so out of control with it. They killed over, I think it was 6,100 of innocent citizens, where a quarter of them were children. Now, my problem is, my biggest problem is when these innocent people were trying to seek refuge in neighboring countries, including NATO countries, there was no support given. There was no constant media coverage about the suffering that the people from Syria were experiencing. But Ukraine is like what's going on in Ukraine right now is 24/7 coverage of Ukrainians.
Well,
go ahead.
And that's the media. But I would say. So you're saying that let me get it straight. So you say the coverage is excessive, or the amount of time and resources and money that we're spending over there is excessive, or is that a combination of both?
All of it. Yeah, every last one of it. I've been reading comments from because people have been calling the media, the Western media, out about this. When Syria was going through this stuff, it was all these countries, all the leaders of these countries who refused to allow them in. But now they got this pitch where everybody's supposed to jump on a bandwagon to let every Ukrainian citizen who's trying to flee Ukraine because of the war, let them in. Yeah,
I heard something too. I heard that they were trying to name a street in D.C. after the current president of Ukraine. They wanted to name a street for him now. But D.C. has a law that says a street cannot be named after somebody that's living. They need to be dead at least 2 years, and they was trying to get special provision to allow what he's doing or what's happening to him to be up there. I was like, I think that's excessive. You know what I'm saying? Super excessive. But
it is.
Yeah, but what's the reason behind it?
Well, my philosophy. Yeah. Okay, well, my philosophy in Syria, they were brown people and they were Muslims. In Ukraine, it is so difficult for white Americans to look in the camera, look on TV and watch their 6 o'clock, 11 o'clock news to see people who look like them being killed. So they now try to guilt us, play on our emotional strings to help support. Let's let all in one now. Let's sing Kumbaya. Let's all help emotionally help Ukraine. Let's collect money. Let's go send more money to them to help them to land on their feet when all this is over. But the same thing was not done for people who were Muslims and who were brown in Syria when they were seeking for refugee, and the rest of the world shunned them, turned their back on them. So you wanted to play devil's advocate. Please argue the other side.
Thank you, Roman. You know what I'm saying? Because I got some stuff I'm gonna say about that as well. I hear your argument, and like I said, part of me believes some of what you're saying, but I find it hard to believe that the United States government. Not that I'm a fan of the United States government, because anyone that knows me knows I've always got something to say about the United States government. But do you really think that was the major reason why? Was because they was brown or Muslims? And Ukraine is mostly Christianity. So you think Christianity was the reason that they pushed to make sure that another Christian company didn't fall into the hands of the evil empire, that being in Russia?
Do I really believe that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question differently.
Okay.
Are you really buying in that it isn't? That's the reason why. I mean, seriously. So now you're telling me that the government is probably is convincing its citizens, the rest of the world, oh, we're in here because we're trying to be peaceful. We're trying to be the leaders of peace.
That's the spin, government, right? And that's the spin that the United States has always put on a situation. Even with going back to slavery, they had to be slave owners because the black Africans, didn't have the brain power to be able to do as they do. Say they did so much to tell us what to do and force us to do it. You know what I'm saying? We had these things wrong with our brain. We had something called drapetomania, which means the slaves had an automatic desire just to break away from bondage. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, so, that's BS. I don't know what that term you use is. Right. I can't even pronounce it. But it's BS.
And you're right. It is BS. But the United States has always gone through lengths to do that, and you get enough people to believe it, then it's not BS no more. And that's the thing about it. You got such a great country like the United States is backing whatever it is. Most other countries gonna go along with it because it's the United
States. They're brainwashing.
Right. And that's the situation that's going on. I agree with you wholeheartedly, even though it shows always that I agree with you wholeheartedly that a lot is being done on a situation to broadcast their views. It's like almost like a football play. It's like an end around play. You don't see what's going around, and the end around play is going the ball is going the opposite direction of where you think it's going. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it's being an end around plan. I mean, I agree with you, but what can be done about it?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, of course, what can be done about it is you continue to have these conversations and push the conversation forward. Challenge these people. So I have conversation with colleagues at work, and it's like when we're all gathering for a meeting, and the main person in the meeting might be running a little late. Who's going to run the meeting is running a little late, and there's like 8 to 10 of us on the meeting, and then this conversation going on, just chit chatting. And then someone may make some, oh, isn't it awful what's going on in Ukraine? And what is there anything we can do to help them? And so let's back to 2015 when what was happening in Syria. Okay. How much did you do to try to help them?
Right.
So and she turned blood red because she knew what I was implying, right?
Right.
She couldn't have. Yeah, that's a good point. You're right, Roman. And I didn't even have to say anything else because she started saying, "Yeah, you're right, Roman. The media coverage has been insane, and it's never equal coverage when it comes to other countries that's not in the best interest in the United States." I'm like, well, tell me what interest other than the people in Ukraine being white. In the majority of the religion falls under a Christianity, and so again, bro, it's a brainwash unless we challenge people when we hear this nonsense. It's going to continue on.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly, but that's straight out the United States playbook. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? And when that happens, I mean, even with racism, anything like that, anytime we take a case or like, I don't know. I grew up as a follower of Malcolm X, and they was talking about the March on Washington. Are you familiar with the March on Washington in 1963, sir?
Are you asking me or are you asking the listeners?
I'm asking you.
Dude, how the hell can I not be familiar with the March in 1963? Are you kidding me, bro?
Anyway, so
Jesus.
He said as the story goes, President Kennedy was hearing talk in the streets about angry blacks coming up to Washington D.C. and burning up the place, tearing the place off. We need to come to D.C. and tear it up. Sort of like I guess the rioters from the January 6th riots were talking the same way. And Kennedy knew that if the black people got their way and actually came up to D.C. to do what they set it up, it's going to be a problem. So they said, well, we need to get in front of this. And we gonna call up the top leaders of the day. That was the Martin Luther Kings, A. Philip Randolphs, and people like that. They called the so-called Big Six.
Mm-hmm.
Whitney Young's another one. And they said, hey, we hearing this talk about people coming up to D.C. and tearing up the place. We're gonna need you to call your people back and say, hey, ease off. That's not a good thing to do. We can't have that. And so they came up and said, hey, we can't stop that because we didn't start it. You know what I'm saying? People are mad. People are angry. People are taking ideas upon themselves. We didn't say for that to happen. And so Kennedy said, this is what we're going to do then. We're going to put you in charge of this situation. We're going to go out there and endorse this product. We're going to give you flyers and slogans for you to hand out there and read, and we're going to go out there and put you in it. He said, so therefore, what they did by that was now it became a thing of, it was an event that you had to be at. Mm-hmm. But not one senator, not one congressman changed his views on the voting rights, which is one of the things they was fighting for in the 63 march. Not one senator changed his stance on the vote. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So nothing happened in it. But it looked good. It looked like it was a defining moment. But in actuality, none of the senators or congressmen changed their votes in order to help us gain voting rights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Crazy. And that's what, but that's all part of what you see in things that the United States government has done in the past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're crooked. Was that Ice Cube, not Ice Cube, Scarface song? Those bastards, they smart. You niggas better watch your ass.
I don't remember that, dog.
You don't remember that?
Nah. And I'm a hip hop head.
Oh my God, bro! You've been I think you lived in AZ too much, man. Maybe some of that stuff didn't reach you there.
That would be when I was out. I was still in DC. Thank you,
dude. Are you serious? You never listened? You never heard that song?
I'm an NWA fan. Love.
No, that's not NWA. I said Scarface.
Scarface too. I'm a Scarface. Come on, man. Mr. Scarface was walking down the block. That's my man. Come on, son.
Okay, but you never heard the ones.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you kidding me?
Too, dog.
Huh?
Brad is my man.
Okay, all right.
Scarface's first name is Brad, for those that don't know.
Oh, okay. I about to say, I thought you're pretending to be educating me again. Is that what it is?
Well, you didn't know his name was Brad, so it's
whatever, bro. He says it all in his songs, including that song that I just cited that you don't remember.
Whatever. Go on with your little point, your little soliloquy today.
Yeah, but anyway, that's my whole beef with Ukraine. So just let you know, since this has been going on, I've changed my viewing habits on television, right?
Okay.
Once upon a time, every morning when I woke up, first thing I did was turn on the CNN or MSNBC, and sometimes even Fox, just to get, hear what's going on in different perspectives. But because this 24/7 coverage of Ukraine, I can't take it, bro. I'm not even what I do. I'm not.
Funny you say that. Funny that you say that, because every morning I wake up and first thing I do is read MSN. That's the first thing I do, usually off my iPad. But what I've been reading lately, I had read an article about a guy, a boyfriend that killed a guy from the Navy. Matter of fact, I read this today. A guy from the Navy had caught his wife in bed with another guy, and he ended up shooting the guy and killing him. And that was the end of the story. I wanted to know more about it. Like, I wanted to know the age of the guy that shot him, which was omitted from the article, along with some other facts. Like, did he have prior knowledge, or was this he came in with a gun, so I'm assuming that he knew the guy was in there, or did somebody tell him or something like that? And I used to believe that MSN was the best place to get all the information. It being a national organization, things of that nature, but it left so many things out. So I Googled the people's name, and I read it from somewhere else, like the LA Times or something like that, who had a more extensive research about the whole situation. And then I learned the guy's age. I learned that he was notified that his wife had been having company while he was out of town. You know what I'm saying? I found out other people that had committed that crime. It was just so, MSN was so limited, bruh. And it's like that on so many other articles, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So but it's hard for me to find an all news station, you know what I'm saying, early in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Because everyone has the thing. Fox News is going to be slanted toward the Republicans. CNN is going to be slighted toward the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? Where's the news at? Where's the people in the middle? And that's what my beef is. There's nobody in the middle on that. You know?
It's hard to find middle. I mean, CNN fancies and stuff that they're middle, but really what's really slanted towards Democrats are
right.
Is MSNBC.
Yeah, MSN is horrible to me. I'm not a fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Fox News too. Please don't have all the Republicans calling me this. I'm not a fan of Fox News. Never have. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to listen to them, man, because they be spitting some knowledge sometimes. You know, not all of it is bad on there.
I just hate anybody that's associated or that hire Tucker Carlson. I can't stand Tucker Carlson. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so, for them, it's all about ratings, right? Viewership,
right?
So,
but
the story, I want to ask you a question about that story you were reading about.
Okay.
What would you have done?
Emotion is crazy, and you should not. I can see the emotion being burning. One part of me is like, I ain't mad at your boy. I'll be real with you. But I'm not going to jail. I got kids, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, that's going to need their father around. So I'm not doing a jail series for that. I'm not shooting him nor her. You know what I'm saying? Although in my deep down, I'm not mad at the fact that he shot him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm you know, promoting violence and none of that. I'm not saying that. But I understand the argument. You know what I'm saying?
Was the bullet though that should it have been meant for him or his wife?
Nah, I think he planned to shoot dude. And that, but we used to have this discussion too. You remember that, Roman, this before you was married? But you remember how we used to say, you know, if we meet a chick and we find out that you know,
cheating.
Yeah, we not gonna check the dude unless the dude know that we was a couple.
Exactly.
We don't check the dude. We, you know, that was our neighborhood. We don't check. If you messing with the same girl I'm messing with, and you didn't know me and her was a couple, and you hollered at her and she you know went for what you said, and then I find out it's you, I can't get mad at you. You didn't know it was my girl. You know what I'm saying? But if you knew, then we got a problem. And
yeah, but the problem is though, dudes don't think logically, right? And not just dudes, people in that situation just don't think logically, right? Because at the end of the day, all they know is a person they know is screwing their significant other.
Right.
But to your point, if I didn't know, then shoot, dude. First of all, I made no commitment to you. She did. So your beef isn't with me. Right. For all you know, this woman, your wife, might have lied to this man to say I'm a single woman.
Right.
I don't have anybody.
Right. And what am I supposed to do? Background check on that? You know what I'm saying? Hey, can I get your number? She says, yeah. Are you single? Yeah. I'm supposed to go over it. Let's check and see if she's lying. That's all I require.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing. And even so, and my whole thing with that, even if now my only problem with dude would be if you knew and you came over my house, we have issues. Now I have some issues.
Right.
But I wouldn't have a problem with the dude if he knew that she was married and she still got with him. It's not that I wouldn't care about the dude. My beef still out of my mind, still not with him, because she the one who made the vows to me, not him. So it's her I should be angry at, right?
I had a similar situation one time. I mean, we going back some 20, 25 years, but I know a couple, and they was going through some marital troubles and whatnot, and they end up getting a divorce. But before the divorce was final, you know, the lady in the group, you know, kept calling me. You know, first it was on some random, you know, thing like, hey, I ain't talked to you in a minute. I just want to check out how everything going. And she's a good friend of mine as well, but I know the guy better. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't odd that she called me because she calls about real estate questions or whatever, or such a situation. So, you know, I'm friends with both of them. And so I took it as nothing. Oh, she just called and see what's up, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's how it was. But then it was the frequency of the calls. You know what I'm saying?
And what about the timing? When was she calling you? At midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, it started coming. At first it was like 6 o'clock in the evening. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Then, you know, the hours became later, 10, 12. Oh, I just want to see if you was up. I couldn't sleep. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I curbed it.
I'm sure there ain't that much real estate conversation happening at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, bro.
I disagree with that. I've had people call me. I had somebody call me at 1 o'clock in the morning one time and say, "Oh my God, you know, I covered 3 states with 3 time zones." So, and I was like, "Hey," they said, "Oh my God, Carl, I didn't realize it's got to be 1 o'clock in the morning." I'm sorry, and I was like, "No, I understand." Well, since you're up, tell me about the value of my house. You know, he went into it. He knows it's 1:30 in the morning, but he wanted his answer question. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about listing my house and. You know, I really like to know how much it's really worth. I'm looking on all these Zillows, and I just don't trust it. What you say, Carlton?
Yeah. Well, listen. Wait. Before you continue, bro, we're leaving the audience hanging. Okay. Finish your story about the young lady.
So I was flipping the house at this point, and so she had mentioned that she had wanted to see the house, and so you know, I was like, yeah, bring my man. I ain't gonna mention his name. They watched the show as well. I was like, nah, bring my man through. You know what I'm saying? I know he ain't seen the house either. And then it was like a little pause, like, I don't know if he's available, but if it is, you know, we're not really speaking right now. And I'm going through the whole counselor thing. Like, man, y'all cool. Y'all should be, man, forget all that. Y'all all right. Y'all made it all these years. You know, I'm doing things like that. You know, I gave the address. I said, you know, come through, but, you know, bring my man for real. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the last thing I said. She came through the next day without her man. You know what I'm saying? You know.
You say they watched the show?
It seemed like the harder I kept rebuffing her, the heavier she played. But we finally had a conversation talk. I was like, look, I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm super sensitive. But this seemed like it's going in the wrong direction, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's my dude. And then she came out with, nah, we just cool. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you tripping. Oh, okay. Maybe it's me. So I'll trip at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know. I think dude's bullet was misguided. It shouldn't have went towards the dude. If his beef, again, to your point, I'm not condoning any violence like that, but his beef is with the person who committed to him, supposedly. Right. So what do you do? I like that picture there. You got Mr. Studio, Mr. Producer.
What is that? Oh yeah. I see that.
That looked like you there, Carlton, walking in and seeing your woman in the bed with some other dude. That did like
never. I don't know. It's never happened to me. I don't even know how it will react. That's probably one of the. I couldn't even imagine what I would say. You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah. That's something that I don't wish to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it never happened to you that you know of. That's the same with me. I always say that it's not that I know of. It never happened to me.
I mean that I know. I mean, of course, I have to know about it for it to anyway. So. You know.
Hey, bro, I want to change this up. What's my man's name? Jesse.
Oh, Smollett. Yeah, that's your favorite actor, huh? Smollett. Jesse.
I don't know about all that.
Don't you have his picture on your wall?
No, but he's on here now though on the screen.
What you got to say about old Jesse? What you want, free Jesse? You look like the type of free Jesse.
Oh, he's freed already, bro. You got to keep up with current events.
I said I heard he's free. He just got released today. Okay.
Yeah, early this morning.
He must have called you and told you he was getting out though. Go ahead though.
Hey, bro. No, I had a buddy of mine reach out to me. He sent me I'm on this thread with a bunch of guys. He sent the article from the Washington Post where this brother who wrote the article was saying how it's a travesty that Jesse got sentenced to 150 days, right? The article went on to list a whole bunch of reasons why it's wrong. You know, because I think that you remember the story, right? In Chicago, where he lied, and felt like, you know. So anyway, it was a sister who was a state prosecutor, attorney general.
You mean a black lady?
Yeah, a black woman,
right?
Who originally pleaded him out for like something crazy, like 10 hours worth of community service, right?
Okay.
So apparently that didn't satisfy some folks in Chicago who, who were white.
Okay.
And so this one woman, I think it was a retired judge, used her political connection to contact people in power, possibly. I'm trying to remember specifically, it might have been the governor, to appoint a special prosecutor to go around the elected officials, the sister, the state attorney, to overturn their decision of agreeing to a settlement with him, just so they can get what they want. Now, it's interesting to me. It's interesting to me how, yes, he was wrong for wasting a whole lot of money, government resources to carry on a lie. So they're trying to justify that he needs to spend some time in jail because he wasted a whole lot of government time and resources and money, right? So it's interesting to me. Like, Jesse's not the first person to ever waste government resources.
Not at all.
Let's remember what happened a couple years ago in Manhattan, in New York, right? Remember that white woman who was walking her dog without a leash, and the brother who was like, I think, bird watching, asked her to put the dog on a leash, and she
said he was on the siren or something. He threatened her or something like that.
He did. She lied. She called the police and lied. And he recorded the whole incident, and so it went public, and of course she was shamed.
Right.
She didn't get any time, and I don't recall anybody opposing that or demanding that she get time after wasting so many of New York's government resources on investigating her stupid claims.
I agree. Hypocrisy. You got this hypocrisy thing with you today. I see. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Again, my take on Jesse is a little different from yours. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up a fan of Jesse like you did.
That's irrelevant, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm just saying I didn't grow up a fan. That's what I want society to know that I wasn't a fan and you are a fan. Okay. Now, I heard the reason why he made up the story was because he didn't like his pay that he was getting on Empire, which is a hit show that's showed on Fox, and that it was his way of this was somehow if it was going to work.
Publicity stunt. Just say publicity stunt.
Right, but it was going to get him some more money. I heard that was the goal.
Yeah, money, fame, people feeling sorry for him, all that good stuff.
Right.
Yes.
So, and it backfired. And so, okay, and it backfired. And then, but he kept with the story, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, because of who he is, because of who he is and his, his role, this prosecutor, it seems like one to really make an example of him. And the only way she can do, because there's nothing criminal wrong. And
she didn't make any example of him. She she agreed to a plea deal with him.
No, I'm talking about
special prosecutor who was a white man.
Right. The special prosecutor was looking for some type of criminal act, and probably hard. If you look long enough, you can find a criminal act on anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can spit on the ground, and in some ordinance, some way, somebody can say that's criminal. You know what I'm saying? And I think that she probably did that. And as a result, saying, oh, now we got him. Now we probably got 4 or 5 charges and he's looking at jail time, you know what I'm saying? Because of who he is and his publicity. But this is just another peg to knock down a black man. But at the same time, I'm not thinking he's worthy of that. I agree with you.
Dude, forget him. Forget him and the reason why. He was dumb as shit to do what he did. I get that. But the fact of the matter is, there's been so many other incidents where things like this had happened, where some citizen had wasted police time, police resources, and all they got is a slap in the hand. Right. What he originally was agreed to get. So my boy who sent me this, his position was similar to yours. He's like, man, I don't feel sorry for this dude. He shouldn't have did
Right.
what he did.
Right. That's me.
But no, but my point is, I get that too. All I'm saying is, at what point can we start to focus on equal justice?
I don't think you will get there. I think it's a good goal to be there. We need to be there. But I don't think it's, for justice for us has been turning super slow for 400 plus years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's going. I don't think it's going to be next. Somebody wakes up and it's going to be even again. I think the United States government
again, it never was.
Right. I'm saying, but I think they like us in the position that they got us in. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, but my point is though, see, we have a voice now, right? Where when we were growing up, there was very few people who looked like us who was on public television. Or who was writing for the media like his brother did. So my whole point to my boy was, he's missing the point. Forget Jesse. Jesse's the byproduct of all of this. The fact of the matter is, it's like everything else. Did the time match up to the crime? Right. So if the time didn't match up to the crime, if he was a white actor, then he shouldn't have gotten the time that he got because he was a black actor.
I'm not arguing with you. I agree with you at all. I'm just saying, Jesse, I don't know. I'm biased. You know why I'm super biased? Because
I know why you're super biased. I want to know if you're really going to say why you're super biased on air.
Now I feel like I got to, because now everyone wants to say, why? What is Roman though? You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is I saw the Dave Chappelle special where he talked about Jesse. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And how black folks knew he was lying because of certain facts. It's -5 degrees in Chicago when he reported the crime. You know what I'm saying? And people like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, it's -5 degrees. What are you doing out? Oh, I was just going to get a Subway sandwich. You're going to get Subway sandwiches at 2 in the morning, and it's 5 degrees outside.
Right. That doesn't make sense. I agree. Right. It was holes in the story from day one. I agree.
Right. So, and then for him to keep going on, I got the manpower and things of that nature, this and that. But no one has ever gone through the lengths of trying to charge the guy for a fake thing. What about the guy? It's a movie on right now, matter of fact. Brian Banks story. Are you familiar with the Brian Banks story?
The name sounds familiar. Remind me.
Football player had a scholarship, play for USC. One of the top California prospects come out.
Running back dude?
Nah, he was a linebacker.
Yeah, okay.
Both have been a beast. Pete Carroll talks about him, and the girl they was making out in the hallway, and then teacher was coming down, and he got scared. He thought it might hurt his chances of graduating and mess up everything that he got going on. So he told the girl, like, hey, I'm gone. You go out this door, I'm going out this door. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna holler at you. You know what I'm saying? And he left. Well, the girl got mad because of the way he left. You know what I'm saying? And she ended up telling her girlfriend in class that, hey, he raped me. You know what I'm saying? And so they got to the mother. And the next thing you know, the police got involved. And they end up, he went to jail for that. Matter of fact, he got like 4 years in prison. And then the case got he took a plea. I'm sorry. He took a plea based upon his lawyer told him to take a plea, because if you didn't take the plea, you're looking at 25. So he took the 5 and figured he can, do something about it. So he took the 5, and as a result, he got out after 5 years. And that's when the story takes place, really, the beginning of the story, those stuff that he had to go through, because they had him registered as a sex offender for the rest of his life. And he's like, I ain't no sex offender. And the only way to overturn the case is take it all the way to the Supreme Court and have them overturn it. But they had to find certain things wrong with it. Well, they end up, that tell you the story, they did, he gets off with it, whatever. But they wondered, should they file charges against the woman who set this whole thing up? They did not do the charges, though. Matter of fact, the woman got $1.5 million for the fake rape thing.
From who? Who paid that?
The victim. The state of California gave her $1.5 million.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so if she lied and said, "Oh, I lied," she has to get that money back. So of course she was gonna say, "Hey," you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of situations of people lying, dying, or this and that. You know what I'm saying? Or always pointing the finger at us. I'm thinking about the Susan Smith, the one who drowned her kids in the car.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's another one in Boston, same situation. I mean, you could just Google people where white folks have pointed the finger at black folks. You know what I'm saying? I think one of the most famous cases was the Scottsboro case in the 1930s on a train ride in Scottsboro, Alabama, where they came up two teenage girls were in a boxcar, a train, and then they was 8 black guys.
White girls?
Yeah, two white girls and 8 black guys that was in another car. So they got found out, and so the white girls didn't want to get in trouble, so they said that the black guys raped them. You know what I'm saying? So those guys was all did like 6, 7, 8 years in jail. You know what I'm saying? In the 1930s. You know what I'm saying? And it came out that they was obviously lying, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? One of them came out and changed the story. One of them kept to the story. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, here we are doing 8, 9, 10 years in jail for that, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. So there's been countless misjustice throughout our existence, bro. We can just go on and on about it.
Right. And that's the thing. Like in the Brian Banks story, the police didn't even go to the school to check out the crime scene. Can you believe that?
Now, let me ask you a question. Was the young woman who accused him of rape, was she, what was her ethnicity?
She was black.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so you know why I thought it might have been she was black? Because he only got 4 years.
Ooh, good point on that. Good point. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, because if she were white, I'm sure they wouldn't have even gave him any kind of plea deal. They would have thrown the buck at him.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
See,
anyway,
I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it while we're on there. I'll share it with you.
Anyway, hey y'all, Roman, we're gonna cut this little short today. I got a friend of mine that's in the hospital, and I
bro,
passed there and check on them. You know what I'm saying? But shout outs to you and your fam. Hope everybody's doing well in DC. I mean in DC. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get you out here one time. Roman, you've been out here before. My fault.
Yeah. You showed me quite a time when I was there last time.
Yeah. I think you was on them edibles.
Hey. Oh yeah, thanks, Frank. I appreciate that picture.
Just kidding,
bro. When you heading back east?
Man, I'll probably be out here for another couple of days, to say the least. It's a lot of business out here. You know, I wasn't able to come out to Arizona as much last year or the last 2 years because my pops was sick.
And the pandemic, I'm sure, has something to do with it.
Yeah, the pandemic as well. Since I've been out here, it's been nothing but love. You know, every city's been showing me straight love. I'm like, hey, so other opportunities have come about. So I'm just trying to do, get out all the business I can right now. You know what I'm saying?
Do you, bro? Make that money so you can pay some of the debt you owe me.
Man, that's the thing. I mean, I owed it. It seemed like I owed everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I think to everybody, hey, get you some long-term health insurance if you can. If your job offers you long-term health, make sure you get that. That is super, super important. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have it, you're going to be paying out the nose. You know what I'm saying? The nose. But anyway, that's my little quote for the day. Shout out to everybody watching us on Instagram and Facebook. I couldn't see who's online, so I apologize. I did see Lisa Bird's name before something happened to my iPad. So shout out to Lisa Bird. You know Lisa Bird, I think. Lisa used to live here in Arizona.
Of course I do. Lisa, as a matter of fact, she lives in AZ still, right?
Well, she moved to Minnesota, but she did live out here in AZ for a while.
Wait a minute, Lisa. How do you go from beautiful? Well, I don't know about beautiful because I know it's stifling hot in AZ. But how do you go from that warm of a temperature to one of the coldest places to live in the country?
Facts. I was saying the exact same thing, bro. I said the exact same thing.
Oh, tell me it's because of love you found Mr. Right. Tell me it's that, Lisa.
Man,
I love that. That picture was right on time there.
Right on that. Hey, well, I got to dip. I'm going to holler. Hey,
all right, man. Well, enjoy your trip, bro. We get to argue when you get back.
Man, it's not a trip. See, that's the problem I have to tell you. I'm working out here, bro. I'm working out here.
All right. You trying to convince me? Are you trying to convince me or are you trying to convince yourself?
No, I'm just whoever. You keep saying I'm out here working on a 10. Like, this is actually work. You know what I'm saying?
What are you? Okay, well, whatever. I don't want to call you out on the show, but okay.
Real estate. If you need
But
help,
you don't
call me.
dress. You're not dressed like you working doing anything, bro. Like you coming back from the swimming pool or something.
I mean, the pool was right there. I got some tennis courts in front of me, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I gotta go before Roman out here start, saying some stuff. Anyway,
All right, man.
Peace.
Good listening, everybody. Thank you for listening to Always at Odds.
Oh, by the way, and we on every other week. Okay, every other week. So not this week, but the week after next, we'll be back. Okay, I'm sure I'll be in DC. We got some whole lot of stuff going on for you, but I just wanted a couple of changes, so let y'all know.
Peace out.
Peace.
Later.